Do you think wealth inequality then is the issue of the day? Because if you look, for instance, at the UK, sixth largest economy in the world, apparently. Poverty in the UK, the latest United Nations and Human Rights Watch reports that a fifth of the population, 14 million people, live in poverty in the UK. 1.5 million of the population experienced destitution in 2017. Close to 40% of children are predicted to be living in poverty by 2021. Food banks, as we know, proliferated, and homelessness and rough sleeping. You only have to walk around London to realise that that's gone through the roof. Is wealth inequality, the actions of central banks, the mechanism of the housing market, is that if you're going to address this, is that where to focus your attention?
I think you definitely need to focus there first. And I think what you need to look at with wealth inequality is you have people like the son-in-law of Infosys now that's come out and said child poverty and wealth inequality has improved since.
And for people who don't know that, it's a man called Rishi Sunak, right?
It came in. Oh, well, I'm sorry. Yeah, I guess so.
Eat out to spread it about.
So exactly. So the I like that. So the problem is that we have a record amount of child poverty in this country. And if you look at the way that the inflation is calculated, obviously it's in the Bureau of Economic Statistics here. It's in their interest to keep the inflation numbers low. So the basis for calculation for payouts like universal credit or whatever the welfare payment system mechanism is and the pension funds, they don't adequately adjust for the real costs of the economy. They use substitution, what's called substitution. So it's a disingenuous way of calculating the inflation numbers, so it appears that inflation is not as bad as it is.
What do you think the real world figure is for the UK?
High teens to 20%.
That much?
Well, how about this? Look at petrol costs. If you look at oil prices, they're up over 76% since last November. So look, to produce petrol, you need oil because it's the main component. So what's petrol up? 40%, 50%? How many people need to drive a car? But I forgot, because now that Sadiq Khan he's come out with a dictate saying no more petrol cars after October or diesel cars before a certain time period. So you can take the bus or take the tube, and that's it. Only the elites like myself can ride in style. So these factors all have to be looked at when you assess this, and the government needs to fund things because they've printed tons of money. So they have these smart highways that will now give you a ticket if you're 1 mile an hour over the speed limit. So nobody voted for this. What we have now is and it's really draconian what's going on. We have Carrie Antoinette running number 10 Downing Street, and Boris just sits there and nods, and you can't believe a word that comes out of his mouth. And this is a gigantic problem, because what we have, as well as a media that's supposed to be a check and a balance on our system of government, and they don't call it out. Instead, what they are political activists who support the narrative and push that narrative forward. And people seem to just become, look, a fearful public is an obedient and submissive public.
Yes.
Right? And this is what they're trying to achieve. And what they have now, they have suppression of free speech with censorship, like Twitter censors me and they shadow ban me. And so when that happens and you start censoring thought and free speech, you are sowing the seeds of a totalitarian dictatorship. And that's the direction we're headed in, and it's very dark. And I think what people need to do is speak out, put their heads above the parapet, and not vote for the same people that keep lying to you.